Millions of us do it every single week, but almost nobody ever thinks about it. Submitting a timesheet. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and follow that data on its incredible, high-stakes journey through a massive company. So you've filled out all your hours, you hit that little submit button, and poof, for you, the job is done. But have you ever actually wondered what happens next? Where does that information really go? Because for a huge enterprise, maybe one using a system like Oracle Fusion, that single click kicks off this complex, completely automated chain of events. And it's not just about you getting paid. It's about turning your time into auditable, accurate project costs that can literally be worth billions of dollars. And that, right there, brings us to the core challenge. For these huge organizations, getting this wrong is just not an option. Converting all that employee time into project labor costs is a massive operational and financial puzzle. And here's why it's so complicated. This isn't just about moving a few numbers from one box to another. You have to take that raw data and enrich it with a whole lot more context. You have to validate it against the company's own unique business rules, handle any errors for just one person without stopping the entire process, and you have to maintain a perfect, traceable record from start to finish. So how in the world do you solve a problem this big? Well, you build a sophisticated automated system. I want you to think of it less like a simple data transfer and more like a high-tech digital assembly line. And hey, this isn't just theory. The architecture we're walking through today is a real production-grade framework that was designed and implemented by the team at Bizinsight Consulting. These are the folks who specialize in these super complex enterprise integrations. Okay, so let's meet the key players on this assembly line. First up, you've got Oracle Integration Cloud, or OIC. He's the foreman, basically running the whole show. Then there's Oracle ATP, which is like the quality control station, where all the data gets staged and checked. FBDI and ESS, think of those as the standardized shipping containers, perfectly packaging the data for final delivery. And finally, BI Publisher is the data courier, sent out to grab any extra information needed along the way. All right, our assembly line is all set up. So now let's follow a single packet of data as it starts its journey from your timesheet all the way to the company's financial records. The whole trip happens in 4 key stages. First, the data gets extracted from the HR system. Then it's validated to make sure it's perfect. Next, it's imported into the project costing system. And finally, the whole thing is monitored to confirm a successful delivery. Let's start right at the beginning. It all kicks off the moment your time is approved in the HR system. A scheduled process automatically extracts those hours, bundles them up into a secure zip file, and places it on a server. This is actually the official Oracle-recommended way to handle this kind of high-volume, auditable data. The package is now just sitting there, waiting for pickup. This next part, this is where the real magic happens. This is where that raw, basic data gets turned into something valuable, accurate, and ready for the company's financial systems. It has to survive the quality check. So here's how it works in detail. The foreman, OIC, picks up that zip file and loads the raw hours into the quality control station. That's the ATP database. Then our courier, BI Publisher, is sent out to go fetch more details about the employee and the project. And finally, a whole series of custom business rules run to make sure every single entry is absolutely perfect. And the transformation here is just profound. Data comes in with just the basic hours, potentially full of errors or missing info. It leaves enriched with all the right details, completely validated against business rules, and ready to go. Only the records that pass this critical stage get to become official labor costs. So our little data packet has survived the toughest part of its journey. It's been checked, cleaned, and enriched. Now it's time for the final leg, getting it into the financial system and, crucially, confirming that it arrived safely. So now the system takes all those validated, perfect records and packages them up neatly into that standard shipping container we talked about, the FBDI format. This package is then submitted to its final destination, Oracle Fusion Projects, where it will officially become a labor cost on the books. But how do we actually know the import was successful? Well, the old way was something called polling, which is kind of like hitting refresh on a website over and over, just wasting system resources asking, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" This new event-driven way is so much more elegant. The system simply sends one single notification back the moment the job is complete. It's instant, it's efficient, and it completely eliminates any guesswork. What you get in the end is a perfect audit trail. If an import succeeds, the records in that staging database get marked with an S for success, and the files are archived. If anything fails, they're marked with an E for error, and an alert is automatically sent to the support team. This gives you complete transaction-level traceability for every single hour worked. So when you put it all together, you really start to see the true genius of this architecture. It's not just one single thing, but it's the combination of all these smart design choices that makes it so powerful. So why is this thing so robust? Well, first, it decouples all the stages, which means a problem with the import doesn't break the data extraction. Second, using a database for control means you can safely reprocess a single failed timesheet without having to start the whole thing over. This efficient, scalable design is built to handle the massive data volumes of a modern enterprise, which prevents system overloads during really busy times, like, say, year-end closing. And this quote, it just gets to the heart of it all. The goal isn't just about shuttling data from point A to point B. It's about building a system that gives you total control, guaranteed accuracy, and a clear path to recovery when things inevitably go wrong. So the next time you click submit on a timesheet, or really on anything else for that matter, just take a second to think about the incredible journey that data is just beginning. It really makes you wonder, what other invisible automated journeys are happening all around us, powering our digital world every single day?